Let us discuss graph theory today. So welcome back. So you all know what is a graph. Now a graph is a set of vertices and a set of edges. Why a graph is used? A graph can be used for theoretical analysis, Google Maps, social networks and many other purposes. A graph can be a simple graph, multigraph, directed graph or an undirected graph. So what is a simple graph? You know that a simple graph cannot contain self-loop and it does not contain more than one edge between each pair of vertices. So what is a simple graph? Either the simple graph can be like this. Suppose I draw a dot. This is also a simple graph. If I draw a loop like this, then this is not a simple graph because this contains a self loop. Or if I draw parallel edges like this, then this is also not a simple graph. For multigraph, parallel edges are allowed. So this particular thing can be referred as a multigraph. Now what is a directed graph? Directed graph is such a graph where each edge has a direction. That is, if I say that this is a graph and each of the particular edges have a direction, so this is a directed graph. If I draw a graph like this, where I have C1, C2 and C3 and I do not give any direction for each of them, then this is not a directed graph. Now let's move on to the undirected graph. Now as I have already explained you, if it does not have any direction, then that is an undirected graph. What is degree of a vertex? So you look at this carefully. For an undirected graph, if I draw a dot and I draw directions like this but I do not put any directions, so this I can refer as undirected. And look at this graph, this has directions. You can see these two are incoming directions and this is an outgoing direction. So for incoming it has 1 and for outgoing it has 1. Let's move on to a theorem. So this theorem states that sum of degrees theorem is a theorem where the sum of the degrees of vertices is in any graph is equal to twice the number of edges. So you can see that we have written that the sum of du or the sum of vertices is equal to twice the number of edges, where mod v is the number of vertices and mod e is the number of edges. Look at this graph carefully. You have a graph ABCD and you have these. So there are total 4 vertices and you count the edges. How many edges are there? 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Total 5 edges. Now if you count the degrees of the vertices, then you will see that for A it has 3 degrees, for B it has 2 degrees, for C it has 3 degrees and for D it has 2 degrees. So we have written it in this form. So total it is 10. But the number of edges are 5. So hence the theorem is proved that the sum of the degrees of the vertices in any graph is equal to twice the edges. So here you see that the edges is 5. So if I multiply with 2, I get 10. So 10 is the degrees of vertices. Okay. So below you can refer to the proof that let E be any edge and E has 2 ends, say U and V. When we sum the degree of vertices, we count each edge twice, once for U and once for V. So you see here, for example, if I consider D, okay, I am considering D and I am considering C. So for C, I am counting the vertices. So this is a vertex and I am counting the degree of the vertices. This is 3 and for D again I am counting this particular edge. So understand carefully, for C I am considering this particular edge, for D also I am considering this particular edge for counting the degree of its vertices. Notice that loop should be counted twice in degree calculation to satisfy the theorem. So this is a theorem and it is already proved that a loop should be counted twice. Why twice? I will explain you. For example, if we have a loop like this, okay, and it is coming and meeting at a particular vertex A. So if I consider this loop, I can say that it is coming in this format, that is it is incoming, and someone else can say that it is going outgoing. So someone else can consider in the outgoing format also. So in both ways we can consider the loop. Again, for an undirected graph, if it has a loop, the incoming edge is counted once and for the outgoing edge it's also counted once. And for the undirected graph, the number of odd degree vertices, that is du and du, is counted as even. For example, if we take this as even and this as even, we get an even value. But if we consider this is odd and this is even, we get we have to get an even, because the theorem states that we have to get an even, that is twice the number of edges, that is already proved as even. So if we have to get this even, we need these to be even. If this is odd, then we cannot get this as even. For example, if I take as the odd number as 5 and the even number as 2, so we get the total sum as 7, which is not even. So this particular case is not possible. This also has to be even, this also has to be even. Only then we will get an even value. Let us consider some special graphs now. Now, empty graph. What is an empty graph? Where the edge is 0. There is no edge, but there is a vertex. Like you can see in the example E1, there is a vertex dot. I don't know what that dot is, but there is no edge. So this is an empty graph. Now, second, null graph. Null graph has no vertex and no edges, but null graph exists. Null graph is taken for theoretical purposes, so it does exist, but we cannot visualize it. Third is the cycle graph. So you can see here we have taken the example of C3. Cycle means that it is a closed structure. So you can see 1, 2, 3. Whether it is directed or undirected, I'm not going into that, but this is a cycle graph. Look carefully for the k-regular graph. Each vertex has some degree k. So for this one, we have 2 regular graph. Why? Because each vertex has 2 degrees. So 3 has 2 degree, 2 has 2 degree, 1 also has 2 degree. So you can see this edge, this edge, this edge. So each one of them has 2 degree. For this, it is a 3 regular graph. Why? Because each particular vertex has 3 degrees. So if we consider this vertex, this. If we consider this vertex, this and this. So for similarly for all of this. So it is a 3 regular graph. Now, for the complete graph, what is a complete graph? This is very important. For the complete graph, there is an edge between U to V or between every 2 vertices. So you look at this carefully. This is a K4 graph and each of them has an edge related with each of the vertices. So you see this vertex is connected. This and this is connected. This and this is also connected. So each of them is connected with each other. So 3 is connected with 2, 3 is connected with 1, 3 is connected with 4. Similarly, 2 is connected with 4, 2 is connected with 1 and 2 is connected with 3. So this is known as complete graph, where each edge, where there is an edge between U to V or between every 2 vertices. So for this we have a formula that number of edges in complete graph is n into n minus 1 by 2, where n is the number of vertices. Okay, so you can calculate here that here n is 4, so 4 into 4 minus 1 is 3 divided by 2, that is 12 divided by 2 is 6. So you can see that we have 6 edges here, this and this, so total 6 edges. Now, what is a bipartite graph? Bipartite graph can be represented as Bm, n, where in bipartite graph, for a particular graph G which contains vertex and edges, where vertices can be partitioned into 2 sets A and B such that there is no edge between the vertices of same partition or no adjacent edges. So you can see here that there is 1, 3 on this side and 2, 4 on this side, but you cannot have an edge between 1 and 3. So you cannot have an edge between 1 and 3, and you cannot have an edge between 2 and 4. So we can have an edge between 1 and 4, we can have an edge between 2 and 3. We can have an edge between 1 and 2 and an edge between 3 and 4 because they are belonging in different partitions. But for the same partitions, they cannot have an edge between them. This is known as bipartite graph. For complete bipartite graph, it says that Bm, n with maximum number of edges. So here we are considering the maximum number of edges that is possible. Look into K33. You can see each of the partition on the left side is connected with the partition on the right side. That means each of the vertices on the left side is connected with the vertices of the right side. Why? Because they are belonging to different partitions. So for K23, you can see this will be connected like this, like this, like this, here like this, this and this. So just excuse me for the drawing, but I just want to say that the partitions are divided into 2 parts, here one part and here another part. So each of the vertices on this part is connected with the vertices of this part because they are complete bipartite graph. So they have to be connected with each of the vertices. Okay. So if you calculate, you will find that the number of edges equal to m into n. Now let's move to a question. The question is, a bipartite graph has 10 vertices, then maximum number of edges it can have. So you know that the maximum number of edges is equal to m into n. So if it has 10 vertices, the partitions can be like 1, 9, or it can be like 2, 8, or it can be like 3, 7, or it can be like 5, 5, or 6, 4. So these are the partitions possible for 10 vertices. Now, for which particular thing we are getting the maximum? So you can multiply and see 1 into 9, 8 into 2, 3 into 7 is 21, 5 into 5 is 25, and 6 into 4 is 24. So for this particular part we are getting the maximum. So we have to consider the maximum because they have asked that the maximum number of edges it can have. So the answer will be 5 into 5, that is 25. Okay. You look into the next question, which is not a bipartite graph. For bipartite graph, we know that we have to have two such partitions where there cannot be connection between the edge. So if I take two partitions like this, so you see here that 1 and 3 is connected. So 3 and 1 cannot be put into the same partition. Again 3 and 5 is connected. They cannot be put into the same partition. So if I put 5 in this partition, I have to put 3 in this partition. Okay. Now 5 and 4 is connected. So I cannot put 4 in this partition. I can put 4 in this partition. Now again let me check. 1 and 2 is connected. So I cannot put 1 and 2 in the same partition. So if I put 1 here, I have to put 2 here. Okay, now 2 and 4 is again connected, so I cannot put 4 in this partition where 2 is there, and again I cannot put 4 in this partition where 5 is there. So with two partitions this is not possible, this graph is not possible. So this graph is not a bipartite graph. Okay, let us look to the next graph. Again we are taking two partitions because this is bipartite graph. The bi word tells that you have to take two partitions. So let us take 2. So put 2 in this partition. Now 2 and 4 is connected, so we cannot put 4 here. 2 and 1 is connected, so we cannot put 1 here. 2 and 3 is connected, so we cannot put 3 also here. Okay, so we cannot put any partitions over here. Now if I put 3 over here, now I cannot put 1 here because 1 is connected with 3. I cannot put 4 here because 4 is again connected with 3. So with two partitions this particular graph is also not possible. Again we have to consider 3 partitions here, then maybe it will be possible, but I don't know. But with two partitions it is not possible. So this is also not a bipartite graph. So I hope you're getting clear with the basics of graph theory. Thank you.